Now, here in the Houston area, there's been a rise of HIV cases and other, STDs. And you have a healthcare worker warning people to make sure if you're going to engage in that kind of behavior, because it's real out here. Let's go roll that.
It's a game, but in all seriousness, in the past week, I've had several patients coming in finding out that they're HIV positive. And y'all keep making these posts and these jokes, and it's not funny. Like, this shit is ruining people's lives from their early 20s to even as old as 50 years old. Stop playing. It's not funny. It's nothing funny about it. And you want to know what's so crazy? I seen a video of this gay dude on TikTok. He's a viral dude bragging about how he just moved to Houston and he just met somebody baby daddy, somebody trade, somebody thug drug dealer, and he let him fish at him first night because he grown and all of that, and he sent him on about his way. Y'all think this is funny? You know how many download men it is out here playing? It's not funny. Ladies, strap up. Because these dudes is disgusting. Disgusting.
We live in a time period where people just lay down with people the first day they meet them, and they lay down with people with no protection. They do that. I never wanted to ever take a risk of my life like that because, you mess your health up, you're not going to get that back. And for what? I mean, come on. I was the type of dude, I never wanted to just, when I was a single man, wanted to just lay down with a woman the first time I met her. No, because I don't know who she is. I don't know what she got going on. Some of them are certified crazy. So I definitely don't want to engage in that kind of behavior with any of them. You don't know what kind of diseases they have or whatever. But today, y'all are so reckless. Some of y'all have diseases, know you got a disease, and still go lay down with somebody because you don't care. Thank God I'm married. I'm not out there doing nothing like that. I am cool. Y'all out there doing these things, I'm at my house, chilling, doing what I do. I'm working, whatever. But if you are out there and you're dating people, remember back in the day they used to have the Wrap It Up campaign? They need to bring the Wrap It Up campaign. Why they ended Wrap It Up? You need to wrap it up, man. Wrap it up. Don't be putting your mouth everywhere on people and you're not protected. Like, y'all really be careful because people got all kind of disease and they not going to tell you. They not. Now, she's talking about dudes out here secretly chasing pussy and all of that. It don't matter if somebody's not doing that. The fact is, and this is a fact, people, men and women, carry diseases, period. So do whatever you can to protect yourself. Get tested, all of that. If you're being reckless with your behavior out here. Because, yes, like she said, people in there crying when they find out they got that doggone HIV. Oh, yeah, you crying. You sure is, because you thought that what you was doing was all fun and games until you got sick. So the best way to prevent that is wrap it up, practice monogamy in your relationships. Better yet, get married and stay and don't be out here cheating on your husband or your wife. And you should be good. But if you just laying down any old thing you see out here in the streets of Houston or wherever you at, then
Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, the great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings be multiplied. I know you brethren out there preaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, 144,000, and the rest of the elect the Lord will have mercy on in these last days. Shalom. I'm the brother Dama Al-Gabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right, and that was an older video, but the spirit was on me to talk about this topic, and this is why, starting with the elders and the apostles, we've been warning you, Jake, out there, especially you brothers that's in the truth, man. Be careful laying down and mingling with these women out here, man. All right, because a lot of these women are nasty. They're disgusting. Hey, they've been liberated here to just freak off and sleep with all type of men. They get trains ran on them, And a lot of these women, they'll meet you and tell you they single. They'll tell you that they ain't like that. But don't never believe any of the bullshit that come out of these women's mouth. Remember, Hey, man, this is Babylon the Great. And we're living at the times of the very, very end, man, to where everything is just completely turned upside down. All right. Hey, like I said in that video, hey, a lot of these men are down low. All these homo thugs, these niggas out here who present themselves as hardcore drug dealing, pants sagging, throwing up gang signs, flipping, thugs, ice grilling. Some of these niggas are some of the biggest homosexuals that you'll ever meet, but they're on the down low. They taking it up the ass. They be sleeping with trannies, running trains on women with all their boys and doing all of this shit unprotected, man. All right. We're just living in very nasty and very filthy times, man. So you brothers out there, you got to make sure that you're protecting yourself, man. And hey, man, at the end of the day, hey, if you can, man, hey, just stay away from all these fucking women because they're all defiled. They're all wicked. They're all nasty, man. They're all just defiled, man. And look at this. I'm going to show you something. As I just scroll down here, just look at some of the topic of these videos, man. Look at this. Black women, we have a problem. New report reveals why black HIV and STI rates spreading in Houston. Look at this. Doing the nasty. Houston has an HIV epidemic. Over 200K people infected. Look at this. Infected over 200 women. This nigga, a lot of these niggas go to jail, for about 2 years. They be in there sleeping with men, popping men, and getting topped off by men, doing all type of wickedness, and then come out of jail and act as if they're, they ain't never been touched. I ain't never touched nobody. I ain't never bent nobody over. But them niggas be some of the biggest, undercover moles, roaming around out here, man. And that's everywhere. Look at this. 1,800 new cases of HIV in Philly. HIV in Atlanta. What else? Look, how I tested positive for HIV. Look, she goes for a routine checkup and tested positive. But these women know they be out here sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Hey, and a lot of these women, they be laying down with other women, And like I said, it's just a pure case of undisciplined wantonness out here amongst Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. But especially the fucking black woman and the black man. The black man ain't off the hook. He's a damn freak and a weirdo and a damn body boy, too. An undercover body boy. What do you say? They be out here chasing pussy, behind closed doors, and then come out here and will sleep with heterosexual women passing these diseases. And a lot of these niggas and these women know they have diseases, and they'll still sleep with individuals, man, knowing that it's a possibility that they could spread this shit to other people out there. But guess what? These niggas don't care because they're wicked. They're evil. Look at this. HIV in Houston is crazy. Who gave me HIV? You see? And this girl, she looks like a pretty all right looking girl, but these be the ones, the more prettier they are, the more attention seeking type of girls they are. They out here busting it down for all type of niggas, man. Don't be believing that shit where they talking about they want a high value man. They want a man who got to make this much to talk to them. Yeah, right. Hey, you message these girls at the right time and at the right day, saying the right shit. Hey, she'll pop up or she'll let you come over there and slide right on in it, man. Ain't gonna be asking you, did you bring protection? Do you got condoms? As soon as that Casamigo pop open and she take a couple of shots, hey, she wide open, man. Hey, and you can do just about whatever you want to do with that individual. Look at this. HIV rampant among blacks. Everyone in Houston has HIV. These people are just, look at this. Man off the streets gave me HIV. And look, it's a pretty woman. She's not an ugly, horrible looking woman. They all whores. They're all sluts. They're all been feminized. They're all out here busting it open and busting it down for every Tom, Dick, and Harry, man. And like I said, a lot of these women, they be laying with women. The men be laying with men. And then the men will go lay with women, and spread all these goddamn disease. Look at this. He asked to eat me in HIV infested Houston. I said, man, hey, look at this 20-minute, man. Hey, it's evil out here, man. It's very, very wicked, man. And you see, and this is the climate and the reality of the world that we're living in out here, man. Like I said, hey, if you possibly can, man, if you got a wife and y'all been together for the longest, hey, man, just stay with that woman. Don't be out here thinking the grass is greener on the other side, or you're going to be out here. Now, you can be out here creeping and popping these other women, man, but hey, I'll tell you what, you playing Russian roulette. And a lot of these women, they so nasty now. If you pull over there, say if you do dip out and you try to get you something on the side and you pull up with a box of condoms, she going to look at you like something wrong with you. She going to be like, what you trying to say? I don't do condoms. I'm allergic to latex. She going to be, insisting you to try to go raw, And if you just so dealing in the flesh and you so carnal and you just burning and you ain't using the bigger head, hey, you'll fuck around and fall for that trap, man. Hey, it's diabolical out here, man. But ultimately, the point I want to make is that guess what? This is all a result of the curses of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And for the disobedience of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, this is why this HIV and STD and STI pandemic among Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, especially so-called Negroes, is running rampant, man. Because of your lack of fear and obedience to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And your wantonness, your your warped mind, your lustful nature, and ultimately being here in this captivity of Babylon the Great, man. A country that allows you to be liberated from all the discipline and order of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And like I said, you got all these podcasts, all these different influencers, all this different, lifestyle, pornography. These people are just walking hard-ons, man. Hey, and don't get it twisted. Hey, these women are just as nasty as the men are. Men are just more open with it, but these women behind closed doors are nasty. They freaky. Hey, they got hypersexualized sex drives. Why do you think the fucking sex toy industry is so booming and busting, man? Because these women are out here, hey, they trying to get it, man. And whether they getting it with you or with nobody at the moment, hey, they got these sex toys that they can do it in the privacy of their own home. And like I said, you catch one of these broads at the right time and at the right day and at the right moment saying the right things, hey, man, you in there. And all these women taking these girl trips, going on vacations, got whole husbands and whole men at home. They'll pull up to the Airbnb of some niggas and just have a full blown orgy in there and get bust down and go home as if nothing ever happened, not knowing she just got infected with some type of STD or uncurable disease, man. So brothers, be wise out here and stay away from these goddamn hyenas, especially the so-called black woman, because hey, she's one of the most highly infected women on this planet Earth, and you brothers know how easy it is to bust down a so-called black woman, man. Don't take much. You take that bitch to Jack in the Box and get a goddamn $5 munchie box meal. Hey, and you in there, man. But like I said, this all goes back to the disobedience and them not fearing Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And there's penalties for this wickedness. I'm gonna show you. But let me get this first. This is Romans chapter 1, verse 23. It says, and change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like unto corruptible man, and to birds, and to four-footed beasts and creeping things. And that's what a lot of Jake does, man. They've changed the glory of the corruptible power, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and turned it into idols, man. Some of these niggas are even out here worshiping the so-called black woman and tell you that the black woman is God. Or they'll be atheists, or they'll, be into sorcery, into witchcraft. Hey, I put it this way, even being a goddamn feminist, hey, that goes back to some form of pagan worship as well. It was the Dionysus, man, the god of orgies and shit. And a lot of these women are heavily into that shit, man. And you can tell by their actions and how they move. And a lot of these men, too. Bro, I used to see all these flyers and shit is to be in Houston and in New Orleans and all different other states where they just be having basically big ass orgy parties, man. And who you think the number one participant in a lot of these, pagan practices are? Jake, man, especially Negroes, Latino, especially so-called black man and black woman. It's vile. It's nasty work, man. Verse 24, wherefore the Most High also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Hey, so the Lord has a very vile and a lustful and nasty spirit on a lot of these Jakes out here, especially these women and these men, especially these younger women and these younger men. That's why you hear these hoes talking about what body count don't matter. Oh, we listen, we don't judge, all type of bullshit, having all type of abortion. They got all type of STDs. And a lot of these women are proudly telling you that, look, if you come to me and you bust me down, I ain't going to tell you shit. Hey, if you catch it, you catch it. I don't give a damn. Somebody gave it to me, so I'm going to give it to you. It's just, man, it's nasty work going on out here, man. So brothers, you got to be wise out here, man. Hey, you can't trust that big butt and a smile, especially in these times and in these days. Shit. And a lot of these women, a lot of them took that stabby jabby. So a lot of their immune systems have been compromised through that pandemic. You know what, man? So now they're highly more susceptible to catching all these diseases and all type of fucking plagues, man. But like at the end of the day, hey, it's all the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And these niggas ain't learning from their mistakes. They ain't slowing down. They ain't stopping. They ain't taking he's just like the chick said in this video. People are they making light of it. They making memes. They making jokes. They laughing about it like ha ha ha. That's funny. You know, because like I said, the Most High gave them over to the Lord put these unclean spirits onto these people, man. The woman literally out here right now walking with a loaded pistol of HIV or AIDS or syphilis or gonorrhea, and she wouldn't hesitate to give it to any man that was trying to lay with her. She don't even warn them. She won't even tell them that, because all Jake want to do is all Jake want to do is just just be up in something, man. This over sexualized society, this over sexualized music, and the lack of the fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Hey, and the Lord is opening up a lot of you Jakes to judgment. It says, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who was blessed forever. Amen. Right. And the obedience and discipline of the Most High will keep all of these diseases from our people, man. If you just abide by, what the scriptures say, if I know you women don't like this, but hey, if things were biblically, people were living lives according to, how the scriptures say, hey, a man can have more than one wife. But guess what? She would be only sleeping with that man and that man only. It wouldn't be no area for diseases to be spread. Because what? The act of adultery, hey, the penalty for that is meeting your maker, man. There was consequences and punishments for loose and lewd behavior in the scriptures, man. A woman wasn't just allowed to be out here running around rampant, hopping on the sea carousel, man. She'll be wiped out for that, man. She would be married. She would be given to a man at a young age to guide the house, to bear children, and to be a wife, man. But here in this society, hey, that's totally out the window. That's totally frowned upon. That's totally shunned upon, man. If you try to tell these women about that, they'll cuss you out and tell you, I ain't trying to hear that book. You want some of this blackberry cobbler or not? And then if you don't take it, she'll call you a faggot and a homo, and probably go on that T app and tell everybody how much of a faggot you were because you didn't want to bust her down. Crazy work out here. It says, here's the point, verse 26. For this cause, the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. You see? The Lord put these demonic spirits on these people that, let's see. It says, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat. And what is that? HIV, STIs, full-blown AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea, and whatever other sickness and plague the Lord will curse you with for your vile and wicked behavior. All right, let's get this. Deuteronomy 28:58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh, thy power, then Yahweh will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues and long continuance. Is not an HIV a long continuance, man? It's not herpes or herpes a long continuance of a plague that you're never gonna be able to be cured of. You'll have it for the rest of your life. And anytime you have a flare out or a breakout, you can pass it on to whoever lays with you. And it's the same with HIV. I think it's not a disease that you can always catch from the person if you have sex with them. But hey, when they're having their flare ups, or when they're, that disease is really active, and you lay down with them, like you might lay down with them 5 times, but that 6th time might be the time where you chose the wrong day to lay down with them. And now, boom, you got it. Your life is ruined, man. Now you got a friend that you're never going to be able to get rid of. And it's going to change your sex life. It's going to change your relationships with any other men that you, ever try to come in contact with. Especially if you're honest and you're not just some demon out here who know they have it, but you're not going to say nothing and be out here just busting it down for every Tom, Dick, and Harry, passing your plague along. You see? It says, and of long continuance and sore sicknesses and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. And also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yahweh bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. See that? But you think Jake? We tell Jake that you think they fear? You think they take heed? You know, you think they want to violate or become disobedient towards Yahweh Hashem Yahushua? They don't give a fuck. That's why we say the hell with 2/3 of these Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, that don't want to adhere, that don't want to change, you know, the way that they live, change their conduct, man, and let it be driven by the fear, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. The hell with them, man. Hey, they're going to continue to get plagued. They're going to continue to get touched up and visited by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, this is Jeremiah 6:16. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein. See, but Jake don't want to do that. Jake's been in Babylon too long. Jake has been too loose to just being free to just do whatever the hell they want to do. You know, they don't have to be held to any moral compass. You know, they just want to be out here being black people, deaf people, stupid people. You know, rotten, undisciplined people. And look at what is producing, man. Just look at so-called black and Latino culture, you know, as a whole. It's totally defiled. It's totally disobedient to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. It's totally moving in the way that's going to lead to them being destroyed, man. And it's going, and that's what it's going to be. It says, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But Jake don't want to find rest for their souls. Jake like being wandering souls. They like being just free to just move around and do and say and act and eat and worship and screw whoever they want to screw. Jake loves being in this rebellious, you know, bestial like state, man. And guess what? They're going to be in that state, 2/3 of them, until the Lord drop these nuclear missiles, or when the Lord brings severe punishment and judgment upon these Jakes, man. It says, but they said, we will not walk therein. Why do you think they don't want to hear the prophets? Why do you think now the camps is the problem? All those Hebrew Israelites, we tired of y'all. They lying. They leading y'all astray. They telling y'all to keep the laws, because Jake don't want to keep the laws. Jake just love being rebellious. Jake want to do what they want to do when they want to do it at all times, man. And it's all good, you know. Hey, and the Lord's going to make them eat of the way of their goings. And it's about to get hella bad out here pretty soon too, man. It says, also, I have set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. Therefore, hear ye nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts. Right. And a lot of these Jakes, this is why you see them going out the way that they're going out, man. Because, because their thoughts are not right. Like it says, Jake is they're wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. And where's the good way? Written within the Holy Scriptures. You got men, basically the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua in every major U.S. city out there telling them to fear the Lord, telling them not to do this, not to do that, to return back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And these niggas don't want to hear it, man. Jake don't want to listen. They don't want to hearken. So therefore, hey, that's why the Lord got all these demons, and they all bugged out, and they all over the place. They don't know whether they're coming or going. They're all filled with HIV and sexually transmitted diseases and plagues and demonic behavior and violence and wickedness, man. And they're going to remain in that until the Lord ultimately destroys them, man. It says, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it. You see, so the Lord has these Jakes in a very, they bugged out, man. You see, this is Proverbs 1:22. How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity, and scorners delight in their scornings, and fools hate knowledge? Right. Because the majority of our people are a bunch of goddamn fools, man. And they love scoffing against the prophets and the men of the Lord. Oh, I don't want to, y'all believe in the book and all this, that, and the third. You believe this, you believe that. But look at how you live in your life here in America, and look at the results that you produce, man. These niggas are completely crashing out over every fucking thing. Jake is unstable. The women are unstable. You know, they don't, like I said, they don't know whether they coming or going. They don't know whether it's up or down. These 2/3 of our people are just degenerates, man. Straight fucking reprobates. You know, reprobate silver, as the scriptures say, man. It says, because I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof. Yeah, our people don't want to hear the reproof of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It's no fun. It's cramping their style. The Lord has too many rules I gotta abide by. I can't have no fun. No, basically what you're saying is you can't be a faggot or a whore or a slut or a tramp or a bitch, you know, or a goddamn degenerate, because that's what you want to be. That's the type of life you want to live, and put it all on Instagram and social media and parade yourself around as if you just got it going all the way on, man. But you ain't got nothing going on. All right. It says, also, I will laugh at your calamity. Right. Say, so all these niggas, these women getting AIDS and these different STDs and these different diseases. Guess what? The Lord is laughing at your stupid ass, because, hey, the Lord tried to warn you. He tried to let you know, but you looked at the counsel of the prophets and the men of the Lord as a thing of naught. Now look at you. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse because you're going to continue to be more and more disobedient. And that's how Jake is. The more you tell him, the more you warn them, hey, it's just in them to be more and more rebellious, man. That's why you'll see us out there preaching and prophesying, tell a woman to put on clothes and women, you know, not to be whores and sluts and lay down with just be with your husband. Hey, in their rebellion, they'll get on top of a car and twerk their ass, or, you know, pull their titties out or stick their tongue out and just, you know, go more, you know, and just go more and more into their wickedness and into their whoredoms, man. And they'll be incensed that day later on that night to get their back blown out just to be rebellious against the counsel of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. And it's just that bad. And so the Lord said, I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Right. So when you finally reap the fruits of your wickedness, you get these STDs, these STIs, you know, you get full blown diseases that got you pretty much 1 foot in the grave. Then you want to call on the Lord. Then you want to go to church. Then you want to try to get right. Then you want somebody to pray for you. Then you want to go on a video sobbing and crying, talking about it gave me HIV. He didn't tell me. Well, bitch, we've been told you to sit your ass down somewhere and get yourself right with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You know, find you a husband, settle down with one man, but you don't want to hear that. Now, you know, when the judgment comes, then you want somebody to pray for you. Then you want to call on the Lord, but he ain't hearing your ass because it's too fucking late. He gave you warning after warning after warning. And what scripture say? Because evil against how's it go? Let me see if I can get that real fast. I'll put speedily. No. Oh, sentence. It should be in Ecclesiastes. I spelled that wrong. No, it's in Ecclesiastes. Yep, here we go. Ecclesiastes 8:11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. And that's Jake too. You know, because Jake think because, you know, they out there being told to stop doing this, stop doing that, you know, that they continue on in that wicked ass behavior, and the Lord ain't judging them right there on the spot. You know, they continue on and continue on. These niggas be out here down low, you know, have a whole wife, but behind closed doors be busting other men down, chasing pussy, going into all these different wild ass orgy parties with a bunch of men there, doing all type of wickedness the judgment ain't come swiftly and speedily. Hey, they just continue on and they're thinking they all good, man. Shit, I'm good. I was doing it. Did nothing happen. And that one day the Lord get tired of your shit and boom, you go to the hospital, you go to your checkup, nigga, and you got full blown AIDS on top of herpes. The next thing you know, your wife calls you, something ain't right. I ain't feeling right. And she go to the hospital and now she got the shit. And she probably pregnant, you know, and she gonna pass it down to the baby, man. See, shit like this. You see, but like I said, hey, but Jake don't consider. Verse 29, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. So you're going to get what you got coming to you, man. And I know this is a video from a year old, but this is just on my spirit, man. You know, and I be seeing these jakes out here, man. Hey, these women, they just, man, they through as all hell. All flirty, be all in your face. You know, you tell them you got a woman, they don't give a fuck. They're like, shit, that's cool. I don't want nothing serious anyway. You know, I can keep it secret, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, hey, that's Satan talking, man. Like I said, she might look good and sound good, but in the back of your mind, you got to move in the spirit and be like, you know what? This bitch is probably holding something that she ain't going to tell you she holding. And she going to tell you that, she ain't like that and she ain't really got a high body count. She don't be out there. Yeah, fucking right. You believe that bullshit if you want to. Remember, these women's hearts is bands and nets, man. And they always looking to get over. They're always looking to get, trying to manipulate, or whatever the case. So you just got to be mindful, man. You got to be, very, very selective, man, and who you out here moving around with and choosing to be going unprotected. And hey, you meet these broads, she seem cool, you still better put a rubber on. And if you get serious with her, you better tell her, look, I'm ready to get serious with you. Hey, we need to both go down to the clinic and both take take some tests together. I want to see your results, before I decide to, if I'm ever going to slide in that unprotected, man. And it's just that serious, and it'll be the wisest thing to do, man. So, but hey, man, the Lord is bringing judgment on these wicked ass, loose ass Jake, men and women. So brothers, be circumspect out there. Be careful. Protect your energy, protect your seed, protect who you dipping in, man, because you just never know out here. Hey, it's wild and crazy out here, man. Hey, and these STDs are all over the goddamn place, man. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. All praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Until the next one, shalom.